I'd like to walk you through my summary of this section where we've been discussing the underlying mechanics of a sales closing conversation. So what are the key takeaways from this section, the underlying mechanics of a sales closing conversation? Subayal again has stressed the importance of maintaining control of the conversation, which you do by asking questions. So if the prospect asks you a question, you can answer it, but then you ask him one straight back, and you can't keep the conversation flowing in the direction you want it to, which is all about discovering more and more about the prospect at the different levels that they're suffering pain and problems. We've discussed the pain pyramid, and you need to learn how to uncover the prospect's pain by asking the right open-ended questions, and Subayal explained how you could do that. You then need to be able to cost the problem. And that again is about extracting information from the prospect to understand how much the problem is costing him, and the financial consequences of for the prospect of actually not solving the problem. Because if you understand the financial pain, you can then frame your pricing, your costs in that context and make it look a very good deal. Now, the prospect is only going to buy from you if they have a net financial benefit after purchasing and implementing your solution. So you need to be able to explain that. You need to be able to uncover their costs in order to correctly price your solution and to be able to frame the cost of your solution in relation to the pain they're suffering. Note that this has nothing to do with pricing against competition, nor do you necessarily want to be in a situation where you're underselling your services. Subayal talks about clarity, conviction, and confidence, and the goals and objectives of the prospect must be clear. That is the mindset of the prospect. The problem is they very often are not like this, so you as the salesperson need to help the prospect to get that clarity, conviction, and confidence on their own goals and objectives. So then the prospect will develop the confidence that you can help them solve the problem if they go ahead and buy your solution. The flow and stages of a sales conversation are critical, and this is where Subayal has gone into a great deal of detail, and you need to really understand these step by step. The first is all about trust, and we've talked about this repeatedly. You need to make your prospect feel safe, which of course leads to a rapport. You then need to be clear about your agenda for the call. You want to ask him some questions to understand whether and how you can help him. And you're really asking them to give you permission to ask these questions, which having been done, it'll make answering the questions seem very natural, and there won't be any reluctance on behalf of the prospect because they will have given you that permission. The next step is exploration and discovery, asking intelligent questions to uncover their pain and problems at all three levels of the pain pyramid. Then, once you've understood the problems, you need to work on gap clarification, which is all about then understanding the desired future state, the vision that the prospect has about where they want to be in the future. So if you know where they are now with their problem, if you know where the vision is, you'll then be able to clarify the gap from where they are today to where they want to be in the middle, in the future. And as a consequence, if you understand that gap, you can move into the gap selling, allowing the prospect to tell you the importance of solving their problem and what it's going to be like, the problems they're going to face if they don't solve the problem today. This is very much like in copywriting, when you go and reiterate the pain and the problems to make the person reading it feel uncomfortable, which will make them even more want to buy the solution you're exposing in your copywriting. Then you close by matching features of your product to the way they will solve the problem for the prospect. So you're effectively taking a feature and explaining the benefit that the prospect will gain from it. And again, you can do this by, we have a feature so that it can do this and it will help you to do that. So at this point in the course, we have established what the pain pyramid is. We understand what the vision pyramid is. We've got the 3 gap levels. And now we have a clear framework for the separate stages of the sales closing conversation. So we're really making progress in this. I hope you're following it. Subayar's done a fantastic job of taking us through this very clearly step by step. I'm thoroughly enjoying the course, and I hope you are too.